lost count, cause I'm 2 up right now. 2 up right now. Yeah, I'm 2 up. Brown blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to the booth up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we 2 up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go. Match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run again on 1st down, Peterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
1st down, here's the run with Peterson. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job, to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
To throw is Smith. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 22-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. The first carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, this is Geis. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Got his target, Samuel. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure
coming without them having to blitz. That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking...
And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll hand it now to Geis. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. A shotgun snap for Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3rd down, here's Geis. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Newton. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. It's Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mario Addison in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Eric Reed in on the stop. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackles.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They give it to Peterson. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Smith. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Newton on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10.
Let's go, 15.
After the interception, here's Smith. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Smith going to throw again. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Jackson, the first of his career. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sport. Coach! This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They start the 2nd half with a run by Geis. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. They stay on the ground. Geis again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Orange.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. Escaping the pressure right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, back up.
Now it's Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Peterson gets the call running left. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Doctson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Good list. Orange.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at FedEx Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ready. Line, 80.
Here's Smith. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Oh, no, lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now Newton not liking the play call. He's going to take a timeout. It should Down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Throwing on third down, Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And all the way down to the 29. A fantastic connection that time. Newton to Funchess. 51 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the 4th. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Alex Smith, he led 3 game-winning drives as a Chief last year, and he's got a chance for one here on 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Hey, back up. Liz.
Throwing is Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Touchdown, Washington! Adrian Peterson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. He's still on his feet. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play there for Carolina. And even 40 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Now a first down throw for Newton. He's going to let it fly. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allow him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That's Samuel caught left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. He will push his way down to about the 14. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to, you'd say, the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Gano out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. They're all finished in the bout down in Houston. And the Bills have wound up winning that football game. That one's certainly of interest to many around the league. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Richardson. That one goes for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
12. Let's go, 15.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Julius Peppers in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Let's go, 15.
Now it's Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try to rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Newton. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And that's how this one ends, in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Redskins, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.